get started into our top 10 toughest sex questions. And number one on the list, and the most common sex question that children ask, has to do with, where do babies come from? Or some variation of that. Where did I come from? What is sex? Something along those lines. And this is tough for a lot of families to answer, and because typically a child is pretty young when this question is asked. If you watched any of my other videos, I shared my own story about when I asked this question, and I was about 5 years old when I asked, and that's the common age for this question. So let's begin. You want to start with the basics, right? So you want to make sure you encourage the question, praise the question in some way. So that's a great question, sweetie. Next, you want to have your poker face on, watch your tone. And thirdly, you want to get some sort of context of where the question's coming from or what they might know already. So that's a great question, sweetie. What do you know about where babies come from? Or where do you think babies come from? Something like that. You want to make sure you listen. That's why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So listen to what your child has to say. After you hear what they know, then you're going to fill in the blanks, and it could be something like this. When 2 people care a lot about each other, or 2 adults care a lot about each other, they may want to show affection in a brand new way. And this is how nature's designed it so that we could have babies. What will happen is there's a seed from the daddy that's going to be placed and mixed with a seed from mommy. And when the 2 get together, they grow in a special place in the woman's body called the womb, and that's where a baby grows. And then shut up and listen and see if they get it or if they have another question. Maybe they want to know, well, how does the seed get there? And the next thing you're going to say is, well, what happens is because the 2 people want to feel close to each other in a new way, that might start with hugging and kissing, and what will happen is a man may put his penis inside of a woman's vagina, and that special seed will come out of the penis, and it's going to swim into the woman's body and look for the egg, which is the seed from the woman. And when it gets together, it fertilizes it, and then it grows in this special place called the womb, where her body's built a nest or like a bed for this baby inside of her. Okay, does that make sense? And then again, be quiet and see if there's any more questions. That might be enough. That might be like, oh, okay. And they run off and play. No big deal. No harm done. You didn't lie. You gave them a simple answer to their question. They also might go, ew, why would someone do that? And that's pretty normal and typical for a young child to say. I definitely have gotten that reaction when kids in my courses have learned about what sex is. Ew, why would someone ever want to do that? Well, I tell them that part of growing up is you're going to go through puberty. And puberty is when your body changes from a boy or a girl to a man or a woman. And the reason your body changes is so that we can grow up and have children someday. And it might be really hard for you to understand right now why somebody would want to do that. And that's normal. And that's honestly, mommy likes that right now. That's good because it's something that's for adults. And when you're older, what happens is there's these chemicals that are in our body called hormones that actually cause all the changes and that make us want to feel closer to someone in a new way. Because those aren't quite there for you yet, sweetie, that's why it doesn't make sense. Because those hormones cause urges. And the urges are things that make us want to be touched or to touch. And it's all part of design for us to reproduce. It's nature's way, right? And so you can be really simple like that. Depending on the age of your child, you're going to share a little bit more, right? Because an older child, the question might not be, where do babies come from? But it might be, what is sex more specifically? Or why do people have sex? And let's say they're 9 or 10 when this question comes up. Then what I just shared with you might be something you could say to them. Okay? And if they're even older, like, when's a good time to have sex or a good age to have sex, then that question is different as well. You always keep in mind the age of your child and how much you're comfortable with and what you're willing to share. Keep your family values in mind. What do you want to make sure your child understands about this subject? And you want to make sure those are all a part of it. Okay? So hopefully that made sense and that gave you some idea of what you might want to say to the most common sex question. And next we'll get into number 2, so keep watching.